I found out about this padlock. This is a Sargent and Greenleaf 833. It is a ridiculous padlock. It weighs 5 pounds. See if I can open it. Even with the key, it's hard to get open. Look at this thing. It is specifically made to not open up. 5 pounds. What will blow your mind though is how much this thing cost. It's close to $900. And thankfully I didn't pay for it. It was sent to me by a viewer who bought it and then found out that it's kind of hard to use just because it's so bulky and you have to have something that fits right in there perfectly. This is made so you can't get like crowbars and torches and liquid nitrogen and stuff like that down there as easily. So we're gonna shoot a $900 padlock. You're welcome, internet. It would have been funny if it had broken right there. I've hung the padlock so the bolts will come straight in, hitting right here. We're gonna start in classic Demolition Ranch style with a small handgun and work our way up. First up, 9mm hollow point. This should do absolutely nothing to it. If this breaks it up, it's gonna break me up too. I'm gonna be very sad. See if I can hit it. It's like a solid hit. Let's check it out. Just what I was hoping for. You can see where there's some copper on there, but it did not even scratch it. No dent, nothing. I can't feel any depression there at all. So I can't feel any depression in me either. I'm ecstatic because that means this thing is really tough. Let's move it up. 50 caliber Desert Eagle. A lot more power than a 9mm here. Let's do this. Smoked it. Came in right here, just a very slight dent, barely anything at all. Hit right on that crack and didn't hardly do anything. I think this lock is still in tip-top shape, so we're gonna have to work a little bit harder. One of the most widely used guns to take care of padlocks, both in movies and in real life, is a 12-gauge shotgun. And it was one that I had a lot of success with in my previous video. And I'm gonna be shooting a 1-ounce slug. These things are not good at penetrating, but they just have a ton of force. It's like a freight train coming through. A lot of blunt impact force. So, see what it does to that padlock. Looks like a pretty good hit. Oh man, that thing took a big chunk out. Very cool. Doesn't look like the structural integrity of the lock has been damaged at all. Let's see if this thing opens. It turned a little bit, but it won't go all the way. So it looks like that 12-gauge slug did jam it up. This thing will turn, but it won't turn all the way to unlock it. So we've definitely broken the lock. It's not worth $900 anymore, and no one's getting into that building unless we shoot our way through. Yesterday I got my first ever Trichicon ACOG. I've wanted one of these sights forever. I just have never taken the plunge. They're really cool because at nighttime they're illuminated by tritium, which is not battery powered. It's like radioactive, so it's always glowing a little bit. And then in daytime it uses this fiber optic to light up the reticle. It's a 4x scope. Super cool. And this one has the ACSS reticle, which makes it really easy to range things quickly. So there's like no calculating. It makes it very easy to estimate distances. And I think it's probably the best reticle to have in an ACOG. And I put it on my F1 AR. This is shooting a 223, 5.56, and much better at penetrating than the shotgun slug. Has less energy, but that shotgun slug just hits with a big flat wall. This is pointed and going super fast. So we'll see if it is enough to make it through to any depth on that lock. There's our hit. Pretty solid, but not even close to making it through this lock at all. We're gonna have to step it up again, I guess. 5.56 is tough, but a 308 is tougher. Coming out of this Armalite. Let's see what it does to that padlock. Looks like it smacked it pretty good. Not bad. We have 9mm, 50, 12 gauge, 5.56, and now 308. definitely made a bigger hole, but I'm pretty sure that this lock is just as solid as when we started. 308 armor penetrating incendiary rounds. Now that is nice. This should put a hurt on that lock. Or maybe not. Here is our bullet stuck in the front of that lock. Nothing's even close to coming through. That is an armor penetrating round. That will go straight through body armor. I've done it a lot. And you can see the bullet sitting there in the front of this lock. Not even close to opening up yet. Next up, 300 Winchester Magnum. This is the 308. This is a 300 Win Mag. So it's about the same size bullet, but it's going a lot faster because there's a lot more powder behind it. I don't know how this will compare with the Silver Tip 308. This is a softer bullet, but it's going a lot faster. I would assume it's going to be fairly comparable, but there's only one way to know. I'll be shooting 300 Win Mag out of my Falkor Petra, and I've been wanting to get a bipod on this gun for a while because it's set up for long range shooting. I just didn't know which one to get. And then I found out about the Javelin. This is a Javelin super light. It has carbon fiber legs here, so it matches my carbon fiber proof research barrel, and it's really quick to hook on because it's just a magnet. Goes right in there. This gun is so cool. And I don't even need the bipod right now. Here we go, 300 Win Mag versus the lock. It has not broken in half yet. Yeah. That is crazy. You can see that huge chamber that it hollowed out right there. It is just solid metal in there, which is why it weighs so much. Safe to say, if your lock can take a hit from a 300 Win Mag and not open up, you've got a pretty solid lock. We knew it would come to this. I'm not happy it came to this, but I'm not surprised. 50 BMG at the lock. Here we go. I think it just chunked that lock back into the trees. Oh, I hope I can find it. Why did I not hook it down with some chain or something? Or something more than like one little paracord string. I saw it moving trees way back there. This is such a mistake. It's great that I'm looking for like a earth tone gray lock back here by all these gray rocks. And I have no idea if this thing flew like 20 feet behind where I was shooting, or if it flew like 50 feet behind. Oh, I found it. Ah. Ugh. It's got the 50 BMG bullet stuck in it. Cool. And it looks like it's kind of trying to break it apart, but this thing is still stuck closed. That is super cool. And there's your 50 stuck in it. And it's hot. Oh, it is so hot. That's crazy. I like how it bent that key. Can't believe I found it. It is about, I would say, probably 30 yards from the target. It launched it up in the air over some tree limbs and through all this thick brush. Tied the lock up, one string again, but there's plywood behind it, so hopefully we can catch that lock. I don't know that we're that close to actually getting through this lock or breaking it open yet, but it has shown some signs of weakness, something you should never do, or I'll attack. We have another full metal jacket. This one is a steel core 50 BMG, and I'm gonna aim for the bar. That was something a lot of people said in the last video. They wanted me to shoot at the bar. The bar is actually one of the strongest parts of a lock, which is why I didn't do it before. But we'll see. Let's see if I can hit it. So we smashed right through there, barely missing. God, it's hot just from that. There's not even a bullet stuck in it, but this thing is like burning hot. I'm sure with this metal being as strong as it is, just that bending force on it causes tons of friction and makes that lock get really hot. But doing a lot of damage, but not close to opening this lock up yet. I'll try one more, aim a little bit lower, see if I can hit that thing right there. Whew. That's a lot of power. This hit the rod right there. You can see copper all over it, and it's not even dented. That rod is made of super, super strong metal. A lot stronger than this stuff. So the best chance to get through is gonna be down here. What I'm also noticing are all the holes in this wood. There was no holes before those last two shots. They're all breaking and coming straight through. So just hitting that hard metal lock is making that 50 BMG shatter. And I'm sure it's throwing pieces of lock as well, but shatter and throw lots of pieces of metal back there. This is kind of like unstoppable force versus immovable object. I'm gonna flank the lock. I'm gonna change my area of attack to right here. So there was the front that we have been shooting. I'm gonna shoot this side that seems to be sort of buckling. You can see that rod in there. Just gonna aim right at it. See what happens when we hit it with the side shot. Steel core once again. Why would you not shoot steel core, am I right? You got a 50 BMG, you might as well do it right. Oh, I love it. Looking promising over there. Oh, gosh. Hey, we cracked it. We cracked the rod. Look at that. Not all the way through. Well, it might be all the way through. Man, the metal's like welded to it now, though. It's so hot. This is nuts. Look at that hole. So here's the first 50 BMG. Here's where the second and third went in. And here's where that fourth one just went in. Made a huge hole. Cracked that metal rod right there, which is super strong. But it's still locked.
Man, I would have to be a lowlife to go rooting around in somebody else's private property. Is it locked? Yeah.
Really well. One more round straight into the front of this. Another steel core round. And if that doesn't make it through, I think I'm gonna give up and say that this lock is pretty dang bulletproof. You may remember in the first lock video that when I shot it with one 50 cal round, it exploded the lock. Not so much the case here. We got it. You smell that? Smells like victory. Look at that. I think it's not locked anymore. It can't be. There's nothing holding it. It's just bent. Okay, I can get this out. Ow. Maybe. That one came straight in the center here. It knocked out our other 50 cal bullet, and it went straight through and hit the back wall and bent it out just a bit. Pretty cool. And then totally ripped everything in half. I just got to see if I can open this, because technically this lock would still be locked. Yeah, it's not coming out because that bent metal is holding it in there. I don't know if you'd call this a success or a failure. I think it's probably somewhere in between. But it's safe to say if you're about to go break into something and you see this padlock on the door, just try to dig through the wall or something, because this is going to take you forever to get through. But if you do get through it, you can use these as weapons because they're super heavy. Sharp shot. Contact! That's a great idea. What about the quad hawk? No, don't move, don't move. Bobby?